Hi, I'm Sean Reardon, Mayor of Newburyport, and welcome to the latest edition of the Mayor's Corner. First of all, it's just great to be back. I haven't done these in a couple weeks. I've been sick, which is just, I know there's a lot of sickness going around right now. You know, kids are back in school. You know, everyone in my family got sick. I was one of the last ones to get sick, and everyone else bounced back a lot quicker than me. So it's almost been 2 weeks for me. Mine has turned into this sinus thing. So I'm still not 100%, but I do think I am getting better. I'm on new medication this week. So again, I apologize for missing out on these last 2 weeks. But hopefully moving forward, we'll be back on our regular weekly schedule. We've got a great show today. Next week, we're going to do a show all about trash because we do have a new trash policy that is going to be a trash overflow program that's going to be launched on October 14th. So we're doing this massive outreach to the community around information about this. We want to make sure people have the right information. I know there's a lot of misinformation out there, and we're going to do a show all about trash next week. And we're going to be actually go to my house, and we're going to look at my trash. And actually, we're going to have our sustainability and recycling coordinator Molly Ettenborough do a trash audit on my trash to see what I could be doing better as far as trash, recycling, and composting, and how does that relate to the new program. So that's coming up next week, and then the following week will be our big Halloween episode. So stay tuned for those in the coming weeks. So I'm coming to you today. I'm at the Parker Street entrance on the rail trail, and everyone knows how much I love the rail trail here in town. But we're here because we just finished a critical piece of the rail trail, and that's on that Parker Street edge, right? So we were going to do this right at where we did it, but it was a little bright, so that's why we've kind of moved into the rail trail a little bit to find some shade because we wanted you to be able to see me. But this Hines Street, so the Hines Way housing development, one of the requirements that they had to do with that development was complete this section of the rail trail on Parker Street, and we just did the other day. So first I want to do a shout out to Eddie Hill Construction. He put those beautiful units there on Hines Way. They're almost fully occupied, which, we engaged with him this summer to see if we can move up the timeline a little bit and get this, complete this rail trail, make it much more safer for people on foot, people on their bikes, on the rail trail, and this really completes it. Now we have our whole rail trail just about complete. Now if you take that and then you go down to the Route 1 traffic circle where we just finished that project, where around Pomodori, you have the nice pedestrian walkway and then the really safe crossing that we have in place. We just got to get the light fixed on State Street, but a lot of good things are finishing up, and this was a big piece of it. And, as someone just walked by and mentioned, this combined with what we did on the waterfront with the new Market Landing Park extension, and we really just have a wonderful asset here in the city and something that everybody can come and enjoy. And this will literally bring, people to the city every day to enjoy it. So we're really excited about that, and great work all the way around from the city side to, working with Ed Hill, getting this crucial piece of the rail trail finished. And again, I'm psyched to be here to celebrate that. We had a pretty cool thing at City Hall this morning. We had a special ceremony upstairs at City Hall that really turned into a big ceremony. But we had a special ceremony because we officially swore in our new police marshal, Marshal Matt Simons, all right? So when you move up your marshal, right, that frees up a lieutenant spot, which we need to fill, and when you fill that, it frees up a sergeant spot. So we were actually able to swear in 3 Newburyport police officers into their new leadership positions this morning. So it was Marshal Simons, it was our new lieutenant, Greg Whitney, and then our new sergeant, Ryan Cutter. And it really was a special ceremony. Clerk Richard Jones presided. Each of them got to speak and say a few words, which is unique. We don't always do that for these types of things, but they all got to speak. I thought the marshal's message was right on point. I think he's the perfect leader to come in, and he's got a lot of great ideas, and he's already making his mark on the role 2 days in. And I'm actually meeting with him later today to talk about some other things that we can do. But I think he's going to be just absolutely wonderful for the city. And what I like about all 3 of them, they're all Newburyport kids. They all grew up here. And I, again, speaking from experience, I know how special it is to serve your city in any capacity, but certainly in a leadership capacity. And I'm just really excited for the 3 of them and seeing what they bring to their positions. And I just know we've got great things ahead for our police department. Another thing going on in the city right now that I just want to highlight is we are doing the 2-time-a-year annual fire hydrant flushing. We do this in the fall and we do it in the spring. From what I'm told by my water department, this is the most important thing we do as a water department and as a city for our water supply, is doing this annual flushing 2 times a year. Biannual, I guess, flushing 2 times a year. So we're in the process of doing that right now. We usually start on the west end of town and work our way over. I believe we were in the area of Myrtle Ave and High Street most recently. But this is something that we actually do pump out a lot of information on. If you're not getting those alerts and that you would like them, please go to www.newburyportma.gov and go down to the bottom of the page, and you can sign up for all these alerts. We still try to push these alerts out different ways too through our water smart system. So the DPS is always updating the website, is always updating our social media, and then we're also sending these email communications out to residents. So if you're not getting those and you would like to, go there, and there's a lot of different topics you can sign up for, but that's the best way to get the most accurate information. And again, we let people know every day what neighborhoods we're going to be in. Important with fire hydrant flushing, if they're in your neighborhood, you can see discolored water right after that, so you don't want to do laundry right after that. You might want to do a cold rinse cycle if they've been in your area, and do that. Let that run one time first. Your faucets in your home, you might want to run a little bit cold water after that you've known that the fire hydrants in your area have been done, just to be safe. Again, I don't want people's clothes to get ruined. I want people to feel comfortable about how we're moving forward. But again, this is such a critical thing that we do, and we do it twice a year. So just be on the lookout for that, and be on the lookout for that information around when they're doing the fire hydrants in your area. Quickly, streets and sidewalks update. We're just about at the point that we're going to see some final coats finally of the paving of some of these streets. We're working on the sidewalks on Eagle Street right now. We're just about to finish up on Johnson Street. That came out beautiful. The sidewalks on both sides of the streets look great. We're going to do Middle Street, and we're going to do Lime Street, final coats of paving. And then we'll finish up with Eagle Street after we finish the sidewalks. But that's going along really well. And then we have some other sidewalk projects. We have a Mosley Avenue sidewalk project that we're going to do to get us down to the Spofford Street roundabout and Mosley Pines. So we're going to work on that this fall too. So there are some other things coming up. Real quick too, I'm not going to talk a lot about this. Maybe I'll talk a little bit more about this next week. But Brown School and Kmart are still kind of community conversations that are still happening. Brown School, my advisory group is meeting tomorrow, and so we'll go through those 3 proposals one more time, and then eventually we'll make a recommendation to the City Council about how do we move forward there. Kmart, no new updates. I'm still working with the developer for Port Plaza, the owner of Port Plaza, and their attorney on a development agreement. If we can come to some sort of development agreement, we would enter into a friendly 40B, which I've talked about before, so I'm not going to get into that right now. But we don't have an agreement yet. We're still going back and forth, and I know the City Council is still trying to approach it from a zoning aspect. We've been told that what's been proposed, it doesn't work right now, so I think they're trying to see what adjustments they can do to that to see if there is a path forward on zoning. But we're going to keep moving forward on the development agreement on my end and my administration's end. And just another thing, we had a hearing last night. We had Kmart last week, or a couple weeks ago, and then this week we had ADUs, accessory dwelling units. This was because of the new Affordable Homes Act that was signed by the Healy-Driscoll administration. So part of that was cities and towns have to come up with new regulations around ADUs and allow these structures to happen in their cities. So I want to thank Councilors Khan and Councilors Harmon. They jumped right on this. We had a great hearing last night with a lot of good feedback, and we had our city attorney, Karis North, there as well. So a lot of good information. They really did a great job explaining it, which I think is tough sometimes with zoning and some of these things that go in front of the planning board. So I thought it was a good job done by all. And so just keep an eye on that. That stayed in the hearing, so there'll be another opportunity for people to come talk about that. But I thought that was really well done. Last week, City Council also passed on Monday was the camera policy. We've been talking about security cameras for a little while now. This was an initiative brought by city councilors and department heads. People just wanting to feel safe in these public buildings that are wide open. We're going to do all the doors and locks in these buildings, which was already approved. Part of our city ordinance is that the city council actually gets to decide where cameras go. So we had the police marshal go and talk about them, and then the city council ultimately decided how many cameras would go in each building. But that's going to move forward. I want to thank the city council for their work. And again, I think we're all going to feel a little bit better once that work gets started at City Hall. There has been some incidents lately, and like I said, the library's had some incidents. So, I mean, this isn't just about City Hall. This is about our library. This is about our senior community center. The schools are already going through a big, massive security upgrade. So this is something that's happening all over the city, and I do think these cameras will give the police some protection in case something, God forbid, happens, but it will also maybe be a deterrent for some people about some of the behavior that we're seeing in our public buildings over the last couple of years. We had a department head meeting last week that was really productive. It was Marshall Murray's outgoing meeting. We welcomed our new marshal, Matt Simons. We talked a lot about trainings that that could happen in the city, not only for department heads, but also for city staff around everything from active shooter to CPR to conflict resolution, management training. So we kind of had a group discussion about what departments need moving forward and how are we going to implement some of these trainings. So it was a really productive discussion, and we want to build that professional development calendar for our city employees on a year-to-year basis. So we have so they have a path for their own development, but we also are making sure our city staff have the skills needed to do their jobs the best that they can. And then finally, I'm just going to give a shout out for the ALS Cup. This is at Newburyport High School this weekend. It's Pentucket versus Newburyport. I don't know how many years they've been doing this. They've been doing it for a little while now. It's a very cool under the lights game for the boys and girls soccer team. The boys start at 5, the girls start at 7. All the money raised, I think it's $5 a ticket. All the money raised goes to ALS research. So good luck. My daughter Ruby's on the girls soccer team. They're having a great year so far, so good luck to her. Good luck to the boys, and I know we're going to get 2 big wins Saturday night at Newburyport High School. 5 o'clock start for the boys, 7 o'clock start for the girls. And that's my Mayor's Corner this week. I want to thank Ryan for getting outside with me today. I hope everyone has a great weekend here in Newburyport, and I will see you all next time on the Mayor's Corner.